good morning, happy Saturday. How are you? Hope you're doing well, hope you're having a nice weekend. We are here, we're going to be chatting with Tally from Style Shaker 24 all about home decor on a budget, which is very exciting. She's already there, so we're going to invite her in. So if you are joining us, welcome. We are just starting. We're going to be talking about home decor, but on a budget. Good morning.
Good morning, Fair Vicky. How are we today?
I'm great, thanks. How are you?
Oh, gorgeous. The weather, it feels like, yesterday I opened the back doors and it just felt like it was like the oven had been left on, It's like I'm going into an oven. Crazy.
Yeah, it was delightful yesterday, utterly delightful. But as we were saying yesterday, we are spending a lot of time at home.
Yes.
And I think it's really nice to have a sort of home hub that you love looking at and you feel really comfortable in. So we're going to be having a look at doing home decor, but on a budget. And we're especially having a look at finding which palette you want to use, what tones and what colours.
Yes, I mean, this is the thing. So, for example, everyone who's listening and watching this right now will know what kind of home they have, first of all. So, are you in a flat? Are you in a house? What is the style of the house? That's what I briefly touched yesterday, that you can, even if you live in, for example, in a Victorian flat and you can't help but having a bay window, and if you've got coving, which is really lovely, and you've got skirting boards, you can still give a nod to that, but you can change those things up, So really think about the architecture of your home. What is it? And you can go juxtapose. So you can have Victorian ceilings, but then you can have a black wall and white skirting boards, or the reverse. Do you see what I mean? So think about your home. We talked about palette. I do think it's good to have some neutralness in there. So white, you can never go wrong. Everyone knows about the white ceilings, but we'll talk about ceilings in a bit because you can really change that up to make a difference. And then your flooring, simple things like, for example, say you're lucky enough to have all wooden floors. Do you want them wood? Do you want keep them pine? Do you want them maybe paint them a color, white, black, even fuchsia pink? I mean,
going all out.
Yeah, so it's top and bottoms. Now you can get really cheap paint for ceilings, in any good store, B&Q, Wilko, whatever. You can get great paint for about £10-12. That will do all your ceilings. You'll need a neck ache, so you'll need a friend or partner in your home to give you a neck massage, because I hate doing ceilings because you're just like this and you're like,
a roller with a really long pole on it so you can go
I mean, ceilings are the least favorite thing to do, but they're really impressive if you do them. So top and bottom, like hat and shoes sort of thing. So
would you have that so it was kind of the same throughout, those sorts of bits, or would you mix it around a bit, or just
again, let's talk about palettes. So for example, say you're very neutral, you want something very clean, you're very much into having the latest devices in your house. Say you're a chap or lady who just likes it, black and white, grey, neutral, all of those things, smart, then for example, all your ceilings can be white. You could have tones of greys on your wall and a lovely black floor, and then you've got artwork and maybe vases of colour, of flowers. So that's really lovely and neutral and clean. So you could do that. Now, if you want to then maybe up your game, as it were, you could then maybe possibly do one wall which was another colour. So say for example you've had all white walls in your sitting room, for example, and you've got a fireplace. Maybe on the wall of the fireplace where you have bookshelves, that becomes black.
Yeah, I've got grey on mine, so all my walls are white with a kind of a white sort of silvery colour carpet, but I've got a dark grey feature wall.
Exactly. So you could then have features. So you're lifting things up. You can also do a lovely, say for example, you have your bedroom, and this is talking about the black, white, grey palette. And you've got your bed against the wall, maybe, and you walk into your bedroom and your bed's to your right, say for example, so you don't see your bed. That could be a featured wall as well. or another side of the wall, you know, depending on what you want to make a feature, but that would be really lovely. You could do that too. So it's things like that. Maybe do your ceiling. If you do a dark ceiling, you really bring it down on top of you. So for example, if you wanted to feel like you're a little bunny rabbit in your warren, then make your ceilings dark. But what's really nice in a bedroom is to keep it quite light, or maybe pattern it, you know, if it's got you want a pattern texture, to really feel cozy, to feel, you know, again, depending on your height. So that's a neutral palette of black, white and grey, and that can go throughout the house. It will make the house look really spacious as well. When you stick to a few colours, people could say, oh, that's a bit, you know, shouldn't you investigate, but, you know, shouldn't you get brighter? But you can do that with accessories, which we'll talk about next week, textures, carpets. But if you want a really fresh palette and something that's kind of, I hate the word use safe, but it's very neutral, and it's about having a that's very clean, and it's nothing will get on your nerves and your eye. Those colours are quite good to have. And then
because we've had someone just ask, when you're renting, obviously depending on your landlord, depends whether you can sort of do anything decorative or not, or whether you can take it back to what it was. But I think perhaps that look is more about perhaps your furniture, your accessories, what you do with it. Again, I guess depending on what the rental flat looks like in the first place, would you think?
Yeah, I mean, it depends on your rules, you know, what you do. I mean, me and my husband rented many years ago, and oh my God, we had, you know, we painted, we put shelves up, you know, we said we were going to do it. We asked, of course. And they said, yeah, you know, go for your life, and do you want us to redo it? No, that's absolutely fine. So they were very generous. I mean, obviously, because we were investing in the home, making it look good, I suppose. But yeah, I think, you know, if you do that if you're renting, the way you can have sort of, if you like, your personality and put what you love is then in your furniture, is in your fabric, is in your lighting. It's all those things that then you can put on it. You know, you can have brass lighting, silver lighting, lampshades, artwork, carpets, curtains, blinds. Those are the things where you can start sort of being a little bit more extravagant, a little bit more thing, you know. But if you're selling a house, if you're renting a house, if you just want something easy, that's the way to go, really.
And I think we're going to have a look at that next week, aren't we, about sort of how to be a little bit thrifty with things, where to find things like that. So it doesn't cost you a fortune, but actually you can make it look quite chic. We've had at how to adapt and upcycle furniture, so that, and you're doing that on your page as well, so that's quite a good place to sort of start making it your own and making it your own style.
Absolutely. And you know, if you're a person who loves travel, or you like cooking, or whatever you like, that's how you can bring things into your home. And some people, you know, who might be watching this today, you know, I just want a bed, I want a kitchen, I want function. You know, even function, whatever you buy, it has a design element. Nothing is nothing. And so it's wonderful to bring those together. I've got a wee example here, magazines I love living, etc. And I don't know if you can see that. And that's just a sort of a sample of a black and white. They've kept the wooden floors. So again, wooden, you don't have to go black or navy or neutral, but, you know, wood, grey, white. And this is a sort of a palette. This is what they've done here.
It sort of looks really sort of chic and stylish, doesn't it?
Brick, white floating shelves, you know, again, very neutral, but also other things you can do in that. Palette. Because say, for example, we have Victorian house here. They've gone again with the white walls, the wooden floors, but then they've put like red sofa. You know, if you love your antiques. So here we have some like candles and olive trees, cupboards there, lovely olive. So there's things like that you can do that really, those pieces will really pop when you walk in, and that will go, oh wow, that's really interesting. And it's really good to make things breathe, so that, you know, if you have a chest of drawers, let's see what's in there, you know, let's enjoy it and clutter. So that's the kind of palette of white, grey, natural floors, all of those kind of things.
If you want to be a bit braver though and go with a bit of colour,
Well, if you want a bit of pizzazz, we can do that. I mean, there's a lovely lady. Also, there's a lady I love. I've got her here. She's in a designer family. Her family do nothing but patterns, so you can do those kind of neutrals, and you can go to maybe wood and then plants and then greens. You know, have you got an industrial look? So we'll talk about this. Then there is the kind of pastel. There's the kind of country house, so a kind of soft palette. And say for example you love greens, you can stick to a green. And if you look, so for example, you like dark emerald green, then there's shades up from that. So your house could be, oh, I'm going with lovely soft palettes. So like peaches, soft pinks, soft greens. And you can do that. And that really makes other things pop. So it gets a little bit tricky then, because, you know, I don't believe in matchy-matchy. You know, like I don't buy shoes and a handbag to match.
Right.
I'm not going to do it. I can't do it. I wouldn't wear them together. You know, maybe I might buy them, but I wouldn't wear them together. You know, I just can't have that. And I'm a bit same in the house. It's lovely, in my opinion, to have a wall that's interesting, and then all the walls are very different. Even if there's a window and it's white, it's still different from the white wall with one picture. You know.
Yeah.
So it's those kind of textures. So yeah, pastel. So even if, for example, there's a green you love, a pink you love, a blue you love, you can then go into a different shade, so a darker shade. So say, for example, you love a navy. What's a shade up from that? What's 3 shades up from that? But it's in the same family. What contrasts with navy? Yellow does, grey does, fuchsia pink does, a pink tone does. So then you can do contrasting.
Yeah. So either the same theme, or completely one against the other.
Exactly. And there's the thing, like I love painting a skirting board. I'm into me skirting boards, I'm into door frames, and I'm into coving. Right. So if you haven't got coving, it depends again on your house. If you could cheat having coving, so it looks like your house, you know, for example, in our bedroom, there was a skip, and it was a frame stuff, and it was actually for pictures. It was free. Me and my husband, we took it, I brought it home, I cleaned it, I primed it, and now it's sticking up in our bedroom, and we live in a Victorian flat, and it looks like it was there from the window, and it's not. You know, so it's little tricks like that. Now that coving could be a colour. So for example, I could do the walls blue, and then when it gets to the coving, leave them white, or I could do that blue. And then have the ceiling white. So it's really about playing. And for example, light will make a huge difference in your house. So some colors that you put on your wall when you do your testers will really pop with the light. But if you know the room is dark and you're going to put navy or a dark green or any of those colors, it will look darker. Yeah. That's when light comes in, and lighting and mirrors. So so think about tones. So you can have a tone through your house. Like you said, you've got grays. I've got a pastel palette. I've got what would I say? It's kind of sorbet colours. So I have lilacs, pinks, pistachios, light blues. So mine is a sorbet. I have sorbet. So think about what yours is. Is yours granite? Is yours industrial but modern? Is your farmhouse, is it like natural greens and countryside living? Or do you want to get flamboyant and fuchsia pinks, jade greens, jeweled colours? So jeweled colours would be navies, dark ruby reds, emeralds. You know what I mean? It's all the rainbow. You know,
so it's about finding things that complement the era and the style of your property without with not doing things that you don't love. So finding those things that you love and complement where you're living at the same time.
Yeah, and just talking about budget, to do floors, let's face it, are expensive. You know, like you can do it yourself, but it's you know, where it's a lot of money. You've got to get someone in, or you do it yourself, and it's aggro. So if you couldn't get around floors, there is such thing as carpets, especially if you're renting, rugs and things like that, which again you add your personality to, which we'll talk about next week. But yeah, I mean, it's you know, ceilings again, as I said, do something with ceiling. Door frames are great. You know, why not do pastel colours around there? Or a dark black against a white wall, you know, or you know, you can really change it. Skirting boards are great. You know, why have them? Everyone has them white. Why, you know, I mean, of course that looks great, don't get me wrong, but why not do them emerald? And why not have one wall that's, say for example, you've got blue or whatever shade it is, the skirting boards match the walls. I mean, you know, really go for it, be bold. Those are the little things you can do that won't cost you anything different. It's just about, you know, making it, I'm going to be bold. This wall is going to be this color. And with ceilings as well, for example, say you've got a children's room, you could do a lovely circus effect. Again, this will take time. So say, for example, you have a light in the middle of the room and you want to do that circus tent. So you put frog tape, which I just adore, and you do the lines, you do the middle and then the side, and then you divide that up and you do, you know, say for example, it was red and white, you do red, white. And so then you have a lovely circus effect in your children's room.
Yeah, nice. So it's about finding what you love, and feel free to be a bit brave.
I think so, because you can always go back.
That's the beauty of it, isn't it? That whatever you've done, you can always put it back again if you want to.
Yes, I mean, there are so many layers you can put on one wall. I'll just say this.
Keep coming.
Talk from experience, because you know, but there's also a thing about wallpaper as well. You know, at the moment there's a sales on. You could go to any good establishment, look online. There, you know, you want to feature wallpaper. You could, you know, if you have a wardrobe that you know, a built-in wardrobe, why not paint inside the wardrobe?
Yeah, nice.
You know, why not put wallpaper inside the wardrobe?
Yeah.
You know,
especially if you've got like glass panels and things like that, you can really
absolutely. And these are really cheap, and so I mean, paint will cover so many sins and also really electrify a room. And if you get the toning right, so yes, ceilings are great, skirting boards, coving, door frames, things like that, you know, really make a big difference. Now, if you're going to go into color, you know, go for it. Really go for it. You know, be bold. Mix things. You can mix things up. You can layer. Like we've spoken about clothes, you can wear different patterns. You can do lampshades. I mean, we'll talk about this all next week. But yeah, I mean, that's it with the home. This is the woman I was speaking of. This is her dining room. Now look at that.
Wow.
So you have what she's done there. I mean, she's obviously got a decorator and an artiste. My gorgeous friend Georgia Lindsay does this kind of work. It's kind of painting wallpaper. So basically it's artistry. It's a huge painting on a canvas.
Wow.
And then she's got a patterned dining table. Everything, it looks busy, but everything goes. And again, she's got a fantastic mirror. Mirrors are great. So if you have a small flat, a mirror on a wall, mirrors down a long corridor. So then it's also practical. You get to see what you look like before you leave the house. And you make a place look bigger. Mirrors are, you know, I think we have mirrors in every room in our flat. And some of those mirrors are cupboards as well. So it's a mirror and you open, it's a cupboard as well.
Yeah. So I think we sort of have covered that you can have the sort of neutral tones, so the whites, blacks, greys, beige, sort of, if you want to, that can be your sort of starting block, accessorize with color if you want to, or you can go down the pastel route, have those sort of complementary colors together, or if you're going to go for it, go big and bold with loads of really bright, nice colors.
Yeah, I mean, the fashion at the moment, I mean, what is great, I think, as in fashion and everything, is anything goes, and I really like that, but it's very gone Victoriana. So we've got lots of I would say front rooms that are dark navies at the moment, those kind of colors, and they're great, but it's also what you mix that. You're going to mix that with gold. You know, metallics are really lovely in your house. So again, if you're renting, if you're you know, you're in a home and you're going to not be here forever, you know, it's like, and we'll talk about this next week, it's about, you know, chandeliers, lighting, all of those things can really, so you can have a palette that's black and white, you can have the pastels, you can have the jeweled colors, you can have the brights, and even if you have, for example, neutral colors, then maybe you'll have another color in there, you know, like a red or a pink or a yellow, or, you know, we spoke last week, you can have a mad bathroom. You know, it's all the lighting and the mirrors can really make a difference from your hand. You can get some really great cheap things at B&Q, Wilko, Look Online. All the sales are on at the moment, and I know things might be tight in certain households, you know, and also, you know, there's the charity shops. Oh my goodness, the stuff you can get from charity shops is quite incredible. If you're willing to be brave, you know, you can get a gorgeous cabinet. For example, a lovely cabinet you can leave as against a white wall or a black wall. Suddenly it freshens up. You can use a cabinet, take out the top of it and put a sink in and put it in your bathroom.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Well, I think we're going to cover all those sorts of things and thrifting and where to buy, kind of things like that for next week.
Okay.
I think, but yeah, but thanks so much for going through all those sort of different sets of colours, from neutrals to pastels to bold colours, how to use them, and where sort of you might use them that's a little bit different to other people. But we're going to talk all about sort of thrifting and finding good buys next week, aren't we?
Yeah, and just briefly, just to finish up what we were saying about, to say, you know, the world is endless, and Vicky, we could speak about this for hours, but you know, just look into what look you want at your home. And for next week, we're going to really talk about, you know, how do you really texturize with charity shops, with, you know, maybe things that you've been given, that you've been left, sentimental. How can you really thrift, save money, and really make a stamp on your home, style your home, that's good for the pocket.
Yes, absolutely. Well, thank you very much, my lovely. We're going to be back next week talking about where to find some great home decor buys from, and all on a definite budget.
Absolutely. And it can really make a difference to your home. It can really make a difference to your home, and it can just pop. But I think I would say to everyone, let things breathe as well. You know, build up slowly. If it's completely new to you, you know, one step at a time to get there.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Well, as I said, we'll be back next week. Whatever you do for the rest of the day, please enjoy yourselves. But we'll be back next Saturday at 10:30, talking all about buying accessories for your home on a budget.
Yes, and also if you, I'm getting better on my Style Shaker 24, but what I'll be doing is in the coming weeks is collages about style, about thinking mixed together.
Nice.
So everyone will have their own sort of mood board. I'll do a mood board so everyone can look into that.
Cool. Well, I will tag your page on the bottom of this post. So make sure you go, no problem. Make sure you go and check that out. But like I said, we'll be back next week. Tally, have a delightful day. Enjoy yourself.
You too, lovely. You too. Yeah. Thank you, Vicky.
And, yeah, that's all right. Enjoy your day. We'll see you all later.
Bye.